Ben Okri's The Famished Road, 1991, which won the Booker Prize, is a landmark in post-colonial and African literature. Set in a fictional African country that resembles Nigeria during its post-independence struggles, the novel blends magical realism, spiritual allegory, and socio-political critique. The story is told through the eyes of Azaro, a spirit child, or a bhikkhu in Yoruba cosmology, who exists between the world of the living and the world of spirits. Through Azaro's eyes, Okri explores themes of life and death, political corruption, poverty, violence, identity, and resilience. The novel transcends conventional narrative forms, weaving reality and myth into a dreamlike tale that reflects the complex spiritual and political life of post-colonial Africa. At once an epic, a philosophical meditation, and a magical tale, The Famished Road offers a deeply symbolic portrait of a nation, and a soul, in transition. 1. The Spirit Child Azaro. The novel begins with Azaro narrating his birth as an bhikkhu, a spirit child who is born only to die repeatedly and return to the spirit world. His spirit companions urge him to return, but Azaro chooses to remain in the human world out of love for his parents. His decision to stay initiates a lifelong conflict between the spiritual and material worlds. From the outset, Azaro lives in two overlapping realities: the visible world of his family's poverty-stricken urban slum, and the invisible realm of spirits, gods, and mythic beings. His constant visions, dreams, and trances are not delusions but legitimate manifestations of a reality that coexists with human existence. 2. Life in the ghetto. Azaro's parents live in grinding poverty. His father is a laborer and boxer with big dreams and an even bigger sense of justice. His mother works tirelessly selling goods in the market. Their life is marred by hunger, political oppression, and economic instability. Yet the family exhibits immense love and hope. The community is populated by eccentric figures: Madame Koto, a bar owner who rises in wealth and power, various political thugs, beggars, and neighbors who range from comic to tragic. The neighborhood becomes a microcosm of Nigeria, caught between ancient traditions and modern chaos. 3. Political unrest and corruption. A major subplot revolves around the rivalry between Party of the Rich and Party of the Poor, whose corrupt practices spill over into the lives of ordinary people. Political violence, manipulation, and bribery are rampant. Azaro's father is courted by both parties but refuses to become a pawn. Madame Koto aligns herself with the elite and grows more sinister as her wealth increases. Her bar becomes a site of both spiritual and political transactions. Her transformation from sympathetic businesswoman to malevolent figure symbolizes how power corrupts. 4. Father's journey and resistance. Azaro's father becomes increasingly radicalized. He enters boxing matches to prove himself and begins speaking out against injustice. His physical battles reflect larger ideological and spiritual wars, and his endurance becomes a symbol of resistance. He seeks to uplift the poor and speak truth to power, even as he suffers beatings and social exclusion. Azaro, meanwhile, continues to be haunted by spirits who seek to reclaim him. These spiritual temptations mirror the material temptations around him: greed, power, and despair. His father's defiance of fate, much like Azaro's own, symbolizes the human will to survive and transcend cycles of suffering. 5. The spirit realm and visionary episodes. Much of the novel is composed of hallucinatory sequences in which Azaro journeys into otherworldly realms. He sees grotesque spirits, rivers of blood, forests of memory, and metaphysical creatures. These episodes, though confusing at times, are rich in symbolism. They represent not only Azaro's spiritual calling but also the cultural and psychic state of Africa, torn between ancestral wisdom and post-colonial disorder. Azaro often falls into trances during periods of crisis, as though his spiritual perceptions offer clarity when the physical world becomes unbearable. These episodes are not escapism but deeper engagements with hidden truths. 6. Resolution and renewal. The novel does not resolve in a conventional sense. There is no final battle or ultimate triumph. Instead, there is a slow, painful continuation of life. Azaro survives, his father continues to fight, and the family persists amid adversity. In a climactic sequence, Azaro is again tempted to return to the spirit world, but he chooses to stay. His refusal to die again affirms his commitment to life, however difficult. The title's metaphor, the famished road, represents this endless, hungry journey. It is the road of the poor, of the colonized, of all who struggle against death, silence, and erasure. But it is also a road of resilience and potential. Analysis. 1. Magical realism and African worldviews. Ben Okri's use of magical realism is not mere stylistic flourish. It is a reflection of African cosmology, especially the Yoruba belief in Abiku children and a world where spirits and ancestors interact with the living. Okri fuses oral tradition, myth, and modern political commentary, creating a unique narrative space that honors African modes of knowledge and storytelling. By showing that spiritual phenomena are part of daily life, Okri challenges Western rationalist perspectives. The novel insists that reality is layered, multifaceted, and fluid. 2. The Abiku motif. Life, death, and rebirth. Azaro's identity as an Abiku child is central to the novel's themes. In Yoruba belief, Abiku are children who die young and are reborn again and again, tormenting their parents. Azaro's refusal to return to the spirit world becomes a metaphor for choosing life amidst suffering. His cyclical temptations to leave mirror Africa's own struggles to remain grounded, to overcome trauma, and to forge a new identity. The novel suggests that healing and nation-building require staying the course, even when death and despair seem easier options. 3. Political allegory and post-colonial critique. The Famished Road is deeply political. It portrays a post-colonial state marked by corruption, exploitation, and violence. The two opposing parties represent different facets of the same rotten system, each seeking power rather than justice. Okri critiques not only colonial legacies but also the failures of African leadership after independence. Characters like Madame Koto personify the moral compromise of the elite, while Azaro's father represents idealism and grassroots resistance. Yet even the father is flawed, prone to anger, wounded pride, and disillusionment. The novel does not offer easy solutions but captures the ambiguous terrain of post-colonial life. 4. Poverty and human endurance. Throughout the novel, Okri vividly depicts the grinding poverty of Azaro's family and neighbors. Hunger is a constant presence. Streets are muddy, homes are collapsing, and illness is rampant. Yet amidst this, there is music, laughter, storytelling, and hope. Azaro's mother, with her quiet strength, and his father, with his fiery passion, represent ordinary heroism. The family's ability to persist and protect their dignity in the face of dehumanization reflects Okri's belief in the spiritual strength of the poor. 5. The power of vision and storytelling. Azaro is not only a child and a spirit, he is a seer and storyteller. His visions expose hidden truths, and his narrative reshapes reality. Okri suggests that imagination and storytelling are tools of survival and resistance. They allow people to reframe their suffering, remember their past, and dream a future. The novel itself becomes a ritual of memory and prophecy, an invocation of Africa's enduring soul. It does not conform to Western realism but follows its own internal logic, repetitive, cyclical, mythic, mirroring the rhythms of oral narrative. Conclusion. Ben Okri's The Famished Road is a luminous, layered, and profoundly original work that redefines the African novel. It blends myth, politics, philosophy, and poetic language to present a vision of a continent in the throes of transformation. Through the eyes of Azaro, the reader encounters a world where spirits walk beside men, where poverty breeds strength, and where every road, though famished, leads toward possibility. Okri's masterpiece is both a celebration of African resilience and a lament for its suffering. It challenges linear notions of progress and instead offers a cyclical, spiritual view of existence where every hardship carries the seed of renewal. Ultimately, The Famished Road invites readers to rethink the boundaries of reality and to see in the struggles of the poor not just despair, but endurance, grace, and the sacred. It is a work of art that sings of sorrow but also of hope, a novel that travels the road of the human soul and finds light even in the darkest of places.